And for you, which languages do you speak? Or because you said you were in Denmark.
The school I went, it was Danish, so they always speak in Danish. It was very hard for me to understand first, but I got used to a bit. I could speak Danish with the friends, with the family. Yeah, and also like at the high school, music and mathematics, it was just a sound and also like number, so I could easily understand it as well. But for example, history or religion, oh my gosh.
The difficult texts, yeah.
It was super difficult, so I didn't understand anything, but still it was fun. Yeah.
And if you compare learning English and learning Danish, which one was harder in your opinion?
I would say Danish is harder because of the pronunciation. But then the thing is, grammar is very similar. And also, I mean, something is different, but the grammar, I thought it's kind of easy. The pronunciation is super difficult. Yeah, and also, I think that we have lots of English words in Japanese. So, you know, we could still understand English. But then Danish, yeah, it was different. So that was difficult. Yeah.
I think sometimes at the beginning when you're in a completely new country trying to learn their language, and we have a hard time because at the beginning we don't understand anything at all. But the great thing is if everybody around us is talking in that language and you see it all the time on the street or everywhere else, then you're kind of forced to learn the language.
Yeah, that's right.
But that's what helps you learn it way faster than
I guess so.
if you're just working on grammar in school, for example.
I feel like English and Japanese is like very far language. For Japanese, I would say English is a difficult language.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also we don't speak English so much in Japan, so...
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Like even when you're looking for a station, let's say, and then you try to communicate people, it's sometimes difficult because when they don't speak English and they shy away, they just leave and say, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. But I have a funny story from somebody in my German family, and he once visited Tokyo.
Yeah.
And he absolutely didn't know where to go because it was so big.
Sure.
I think he was in Shinjuku.
Oh my gosh, Shinjuku! For me, it's also difficult.
Yeah, right. For us, even, it's difficult.
Yeah.
But then he was trying to find somebody who would explain which way to go. And obviously, he spoke in English, but nobody could understand him or was confident enough to answer in English. So they just left him. But his strategy is quite funny. So he realized quickly that people are not going to help him if he tries to approach to them in English.
Sure.
So he found somewhere like big map of Tokyo and he opened it, a bit exaggerated, and then tried to look confused. and then people who are ready to speak in English will come to him to help.
Oh my gosh, that's right. That works. That's good.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that makes sense. For example, in Japan, and we start learning English maybe at the elementary school, maybe. But then junior high school is going to be so different level because elementary school, it's very easy, maybe. And then the junior high school is going to be more like exams and stuff. And then I guess that time is the period that people will start to hate English, maybe. And also they don't, they just care about the exams and scores. And if we go and just speak a lot, and then I guess it's going to be much easier to learn.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on the person, I know, but for me, I just love talking with people, so... And also the teacher just explained okay, you're going to put this first and then this or something like that. But then, if we don't use it, we don't get it so much, I guess. You know, I went to Denmark with confidence that, okay, I speak in English. But then, okay, when I went there and then I met lots of exchange students from Italy, Germany, or Spain or somewhere. They speak in English so well. And mine was terrible. And I lost the confidence. And then one of the guy from my class, he told me that I'm very not good at English, but then he was much better than my English.
I see.
So yeah, but then I was forced to speak in English. So I will say I improved English that time so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because in Japan, of course, I didn't have to speak in English at all. So.
And another thing I'm kind of curious is how you usually start off with learning languages, the silent period. So especially, well, actually not just the second language learning children, but also for first languages. At the beginning, they don't really speak that much. Well, not the infants. And they try to absorb as much as possible. Sure. And it was observed in some English schools with some foreign kids. So for the first 3 months, let's say, they don't speak anything, but they're listening. And over time, they develop their own system. Sure. And then after that, they start talking. I think for me personally, I always need that kind of similar silent period where I don't really speak. So especially in the universities, when they start with grammar explained in different languages that we already know, it kind of confuses me a lot because I really need to get the phonetic structure, grammar structure, and how people talk in the first place at first. So I have to listen a lot, even if I don't understand anything. And after that, slowly, I develop some system. Oh, okay, this kind of words are pronounced this way, and then the other one the other way, or the structure, where comes the verb or whatever. I don't really focus that much on grammar, so grammar practice is not really my favorite thing.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. It's also not my favorite thing. Yeah.
So the second part is about language teaching. If the instruction itself is useful, so if you learn a language in a classroom, is it really effective compared to if you were like out in the world, on the streets, learning the language? It could be a bit risky if the school just focuses on the grammar. So I think it really depends on the kind of instruction or teacher you get.
Yeah.
So traditionally, grammar-based teaching was typical. So it's not necessarily that you communicate in a class, but you rather just learn the grammar.
I don't think, for example, at high school, we didn't have any chance to communicate. Sometimes the teacher asked us to speak a bit, but then the teacher was like, for example, listen to the CD, and then speak in English with Japanese accent, it's okay. But it was, I don't know, I just feel like this, I don't know how to say. But anyway, we didn't have the good teacher maybe. So he just speaks Japanese, of course, and he can explain about the grammars and the words and something like that. But that's the thing, I can do that as well.
For the communication, does it really help if the teacher would say, let's speak from the beginning without any grammar?
Oh, it's gonna be difficult, right? I mean, we have to learn some grammars. Learn some grammars is very important. Learn some vocabularies is so important. Otherwise, we cannot create a sentence by ourselves. But at the same time, I guess it's very nice if we have the time, like learning the grammars and using it.
It's also about how you structure the communication part, because I personally feel like it doesn't necessarily help all the time when it's fully, communication based, as you said. So it's like if you put it into two categories and then either you teach grammar or you fully focus on communication, it doesn't really work out, because sometimes it really helps if you know the structure grammatically and you understand it, and then you will get it to apply in different places. If you start with grammar without any knowledge of the language, you're just confused bombarded with so many work.
Yeah,
and also,
that's right.
Also with communication, you all of a sudden get how to say hello, how to say how are you, how to say I'm good. It's it could be interesting with these like simple expressions, but if you try to remember a whole sentence just for the
My
communication
brain is
purpose,
gonna be crazy.
yeah, right. I sometimes try something like that out with some languages, but it never really works out. I just get super tired. It might be better than just focusing on grammar, but I still don't like it.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, you try to have some basis on the language.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be perfect, like
No, it doesn't have to
interlanguage.
be.
And then from that, if you first get to the stage of interlanguage, and then from that, you develop your language knowledge with, let's say, grammar to make it more accurate how you talk or how you, understand the language essentially. And also for communication practice, because you already know something about the language, you have some kind of feeling, and then you try to develop it further based on that. And one other thing that I'm very curious about is, what do you think, is translating practice useful?
For me, okay, so at the university, I took one class about translating, and then so we see some comic books in English, and we try to translate in Japanese, but in a funny way, or we have to get the nuance, and then write it in Japanese. That was fun for me. But then, if you just want to learn English, I don't think you need it.
Because I remember when I was in school, and I actually didn't translate that much. So you have every week or every second week some new topics in English class.
Yeah.
And then, let's say this week we talk about going to cafe with a friend. And then you have to write the sentences on a notebook, and then they would check it as well if you wrote it properly. And then you check the meaning of some words that you don't know, and then you need to show how much you practice. And the translation part was not necessarily mandatory. So I skipped it because I thought, I do understand anyways.
Yeah.
But my brother told me that I should translate it because later on it would be useful. And I completely believed him, as I always did. And said, okay, if he says that, he's older than me, maybe that's true. And I started translating. But eventually I stopped once again because I didn't see much use, because it was, on one side, it was probably useful because you need to properly understand the text to be able to translate it. But at the same time, it sometimes bothered me to have to think in another language when you're dealing with English.
But then, for example, maybe that works when I need to translate from English to Japanese for my mom or for my father. Sometimes I bring my friends from the outside of Japan, so they are coming to my hometown, and then so I have to explain all the time to my mom and dad. So,
but that's a great point, because I'm so terrible at that. Because
when
when
so
somebody's
difficult.
I can speak in English and the other languages as well, fluently enough in most of them. But when somebody tells me, "Hey, Aki, what does that word mean?" or "What did this person just said?" in another language, and I have to explain it, I'm terrible at it.
It is super difficult, right?
Either I come up with some A1, A2 level simple words, phrasings, or I don't at all. And then I'm like, sorry, I'm just talking in a different language. I cannot think of anything in the one that we're talking in. So I feel pretty useless, which is okay. But at the same time, I think even in higher levels, when you're advanced level English or whatever else language speaker, if you already know the exact translation, then it might help for yourself as well to accurately understand. And
I guess so.
If you're around some friends and family that don't speak the language, you can accurately translate.
Yeah, I use my brain a lot when I translate from English to Japanese. I have to switch all the time the brain, but I feel like some people are very good at to switching. Yeah, because
Yeah.
They just speak in English and speak in Japanese as well, and also the other language as well. I guess you are good at as well.
Oh, I don't know. I know some great examples. Like, which one is your native language? Like some of those people. I think I get confused all the time with all the languages.
But you grew up in the environment that you speak in Japanese and German?
It's more like we actually, all of the kids, we all preferred to speak in Japanese in front of the Japanese kids because, well, we were too shy. And then the kids, they would just come to you and stare at you if you speak in something else. And
that makes sense.
What language is that? And it happens all the time. Like when I was in school and somebody figured out that obviously looking at me,
Wow.
they figure out that I'm not fully Japanese, and then like, where are you from? And then I explain something. Basically that I'm half Japanese, half German. And then like, okay, then just speak in German. But that's a difficult question.
Yeah.
Because what am I supposed to say? Just give me a topic. That's what I usually say
I
nowadays.
guess that happens a lot also for the other people, for the Japanese who went to abroad and went back to Japan.
I think they're just curious. But sometimes when you get a lot of it and all the time, you just don't want to show off the other language at all. And that's what we were. And so basically it was a funny conversation, like wherever in school or in the city. Like my mother, she would talk to us like 60 to 70% of the time in German, I would say, and then the rest in Japanese. But when they see that she talks to us in German and then we reply in Japanese and nobody understands what's going on. Like they all get just half the information.
I can imagine.
Yeah, so that was basically my childhood. And after like during COVID, like when I was already planning on coming to Europe but still couldn't leave, that's where I started learning German with my brother in a Goethe Institute. This is German language school.
Yeah.
And for, I think, half a year. And there I first got the grammar and all the communication practices.
Wow.
But it was kind of interesting because I always had the listening practice in a sense. And, well, it didn't take that much for me to getting to the level of at least starting to talk properly so that people would understand me. So it didn't take too much time. That might be showing the fact that maybe if you're exposed to the language.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, since you were young and then you got the language, so maybe it was easier.
I think now we can wrap it up.
Yeah. Great.
That was basically it for the first radio for me.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy that you came here.
Yeah. I'm so happy you invited me. I'm so happy to be here.
Do you actually want to make a advertisement for your YouTube channel?
Yeah. Maybe you can see my channel that says Kohalile. Lille means Danish. It's the Danish word, and then that means little. And I'm small, so Koharu and Lille, little Koharu. That means, but then I just show the videos about living in Ireland because I didn't find many information of Ireland on YouTube or some social media. So I'm making YouTube, so maybe you can follow me.
Yeah, I can recommend the videos. I think it's very relaxing and it's informative. I love watching it. Like literally, sometimes when I'm on YouTube watching something, and then when I refresh the first like homepage, and then your video comes out, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, she published it 15 minutes ago. Maybe I'm the first person to watch
it. I'm so happy you watch it. Yeah, I don't think that I get lots of information actually. I just shoot myself and
just go to her YouTube channel.
Yeah, please.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was so fun. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you too.